Okay, here I am again. Can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. 140 Republicans in the House are going to vote to reject, not to accept the election returns. You know, this reminds me of when Obamacare got passed, and all the Republicans started screaming about it and wanting to figure out ways to, and they're still doing it, to dismantle it completely. And I have one question for you. Why didn't they come up with something better? They didn't. All they had to do, I wasn't objecting to the fact they wanted to get rid of it. If they want to get rid of it, just come up with something better. No problem. They couldn't do it. They didn't do it. They still haven't done it. Well, with the elections, they're saying it's a fraud. Prove it. You can't prove it. There wasn't any fraud. Had this, what was a representative from New Jersey did it. I just can't believe this. Well, I can believe it. I lived in New Jersey. There are some politicians in that state that are just plain stupid. They have no right to be to represent anybody. It just it baffles me that they can go out there and say that the election was a fraud. Well, okay, prove it. I'm not getting upset. I'm just saying, all right, it's a possibility. Prove it. Show me your proof. All the lower courts, the Electoral College, all the electoral commissions, Superior Courts, Supreme Courts, all of them have said there is no grounds for the fraud claims by the president and his people. I worry more that even some of the vote. I would be more concerned with the fact that some of his votes were fraudulent, but they're not. Nobody's claiming that. I mean, he claimed fraud the last time because he lost the popular vote. That was his choice. He chose to spend his money in the campaign in a specific area where the electoral college was, and he let some of these other states go the first time around. So if he lost the popular vote, that's all his campaign strategy. Tough shit. Live with it. Now he's going around and he's got all these congressmen and everything, and I'm sure he's going to try to walk into Congress and say something, or walk into the Senate and say something to get these people. It's not going to happen. If it does, we did in the chaos and the revolution that comes after that we deserve. I mean, it's just, you can't believe that this is just so ridiculous. I don't want to call it stupid, because it's part of the Constitution. They have the right to do this. I just think that if you're going to do it, be able to offer some sort of proof besides the fat boy's word. I mean, that's all we've got. He's the one that's screaming it's fraud. Nobody else started screaming it was fraud. He started screaming it was fraud. He started screaming fraud before the election because he knew he was going to lose. He knew that if they got a normal or above average turnout of voters, he was going to lose. He knows people don't like him, and he doesn't care because he doesn't like anybody. I mean, he's admitted that he doesn't like the people that are there supporting him. He doesn't want to glad hand the average voter. He doesn't care. If you got $1 billion and he thinks there's a way he can get his hands on some of that, then you'll see him, glad hand you and pat you on the back and say what a wonderful human being you are. You're not a wonderful human being. I got a problem with my mouth. I have a surgery done on this side over here for skin cancer, and I just noticed recently I'm having problems with my lips. Isn't that stupid? Okay, getting back to I told you I'm old and I ramble on and on. But getting back to this situation, I understand it. I just think that if you're gonna do something like that, rather than just doing it for the hell of it, because you're afraid of the fat guy, which I don't know why you're afraid of him. I mean, just brush him aside. He's nothing now. He has no political power now. He has no power to do anything to you right now. He can't get you fired right now. You know, if you're a Republican, I'd worry about Mitch in the Senate. I really would, because he's the one that can cause you all kinds of grief. You know, and people don't realize that particular man can cause you all kinds of grief. And to sit there and say, you know, well, we don't care what he says, that's a dangerous move. That down the line, that's going to hurt those guys. They're going to be sorry they did that. Trump isn't scary. Trump's useless. He can't do anything. He doesn't even know enough people to have you hit. You know, he's just stupid. He's fat and useless right now. I mean, he's scared. He's running scared. He doesn't know what to do or say. You know, he had his opportunities. Like I said in the last post, he had his opportunities. If he had done something with this virus, if he had pushed for this, even now, if he pushed to get the virus out to people, if he helped uh, some sort of federal mandates and whatnot to expedite the virus getting to the people that need it the most, then he could still salvage something. But no, his way of salvaging something is creating chaos and ignoring and ignoring all the tragedy around him, all the deaths and everything around him, just ignoring them because they don't mean anything to him. You know, what's he get upset about? His wife's decor of his house down in Key Margo. You know, and I'm like I said before, you know, I guess he didn't like, you know, hooker design. You know, I just he repulses me. I mean, I can't. I don't know. I think I probably said this in one of the videos that I met his sister one time, and she seemed reasonable. You know, and the surprising thing is that his family, not his married family, his family in general, don't want too much to do with him. You know. You don't hear much from his first wife either, Ivanka, because she was the smart one. You know, she was smarter than he was, and she's successful on her own, which is something, you know, that I don't think he can stand, and I think he still resents that. You know, his daughter's not going to can't be successful on her own. She's too stupid. She's not smart enough to be truly successful on her own without him being around to support her somehow or another. You know, and as president, you know, people look at your family differently when you're president and when you're, you know, just some big businessman on the side. You know, and he's not a great businessman. How do you bankrupt the football team? You actually destroyed a whole league. You bankrupt a casino. How do you do that? You know, how can you be so stupid that you let a casino go into bankruptcy? Casinos are cash cows for most people, but him, no. He operates like the mafia when he goes into a business. He absorbs all their assets and then discards what he doesn't want and declares bankruptcy when there's absolutely nothing but a shell of the company left. Everything else has been sold off and turned into cash that he's hidden, squirreled away in some bank account someplace. Be interesting to know how many bank accounts he has in like the Cayman Islands or something. You know, and if he doesn't, then then he's really stupid because he's got to have someplace to hide his cash because he doesn't have any. You know, I mean, what is it? $486 million in debt. You know, so far, and most of his debt is going to come due the day he gets out. I saw where the one senator agreed with the rest of us because about his fundraising, saying it was nothing more but a sham and it's a grift. He's just trying to get money so that he, you know, get the money to his super PAC so he can use it to pay down his debt and finance a lifestyle. You know, maybe buy a radio station or TV station, which I heard he's thinking of doing, so that he can say what he wants on the air until the FCC comes after him. Boy, I tell you, this is a hell of an end of the year. You know, it should be a time of celebration and whatnot. Even with the pandemic, things should be a little better off than they are right now. I mean, people should be getting their shots. People should have hope. I don't think this. He wants you to have hope. You know, he wants you to think that he's the salvation, and he's not. Never has been. Never will be. You know. Are there changes necessary to our government? Yeah, I agree, but I don't agree with the way he's doing it. I don't agree the changes are right. Oh well. In about what is it now? It's going to be about 20 days, I think. Now we will have a president that believes in science. Doesn't believe in Ouija boards and stuff, and we'll be able to maybe we'll get some things accomplished. Let's see what happens. All right, I'll be back one more time this year. Okay, so see you then.